Hello, my name is Verena Sampayo. This is my final project for ILT 5003, Principles of Interdisciplinary Learning and Teaching with Dr. Ewan. I am a second grade teacher in San Antonio ISD. I have been a technology facilitator at my campus for 3 years. There is a limited use of technology in our classrooms, and teachers do not use it effectively. I gained interest in helping teachers and decided that I wanted to do something different with my career. I looked into UTSA. I am now pursuing an MAD with a concentration in instructional technology. I began this journey with an end goal of pursuing a position in presenting professional development sessions on technology to teachers to use it effectively in their classrooms. In this picture, I presented a lesson on bibliotech to the parents of our community. The themes of this course are going to help me to become a well-rounded teacher who understands the needs of all of my students, whether they're in elementary school, middle school, or have even graduated from college already. In this course, we explored the following themes through the reading of books and scholarly articles. The themes of this course were socio-political nature of education, foundational theories in interdisciplinary learning and teaching, and addressing the needs of diverse learner populations and educational contexts. Socio-political nature of education. Education has come a long way in America. It has changed according to the Society of Learners and Educators. Students are no longer taught in one room with all grade levels learning together. Learning to be a teacher even started as a 2-year program and has improved to a 4-year program in college. However, there are still changes to be made for the equality of all of our students and to close the achievement gap. I learned about what can be done so that the achievement gap can be closed and how subtractive schooling is still occurring across the country. John Dewey challenged educators to improve student learning and has influenced the education of students across America with the idea of progressive education. Many programs have been created to help students individually in school. American education will continue to change as society changes and new ideas are formed. Foundational learning theories: behaviorism, constructivism, constructionism, cognitivism. These theories are all frameworks on how learning is achieved. Behaviorism suggests that learning is observable and measurable. Alfred Skinner explained that learning can be achieved through reinforcement and repetition. I feel that repetition is necessary because if students are not using information, it will be lost. Cognitivism suggests that learning is a process in which information is received, organized, stored, and retrieved by the mind. Cognitivism reminds me of a file box. I feel that this is an important concept to consider with our students in the 21st century as students need more complex forms of learning. Constructivism suggests that we should encourage the uniqueness of a learner and let the learner be responsible for their own learning. This is important when working in a community. Everybody must be able to work together to accomplish a goal. Vocabulary is learned from exposure, so learning occurs in realistic settings. I think this is interesting because students need to learn vocabulary through real-life situations and not just from rote learning. Constructionism suggests that learning is achieved through an active creation of something shareable, like a poem, song, or other project. Students can manipulate objects while the teacher is merely assisting. This is a hands-on, problem-based learning theory. The teacher is not at the front of the classroom lecturing. The students are discovering and learning on their own and constructing their own learning by making something. Addressing the needs of our students: ESL, special needs, LGBTQ, and 21st century students. Addressing the needs of our students is a theme that really interested me and my views in education. Students come with such diverse backgrounds in San Antonio. Teachers must acknowledge their student culture and accommodate and modify as needed to ensure student success. Teachers must follow the IEP, which is the Individual Education Plan, for all students with special needs. Special needs students are now being placed in general education classrooms as a part of inclusion. Teachers should also work with their parents to ensure the child's success. LGBTQ students should feel comfortable and welcomed in their school. Bullying has become a big issue, and teachers can help advocate for their students. Teachers of ESL students need to use effective instructional practices that will benefit their learning, like using visuals. 21st century students need to be taught to use technology in the classroom and not only at home with their cell phones. We are shaping society by teaching and starting off in elementary school. We can make a difference. Reflection of these themes. I believe that understanding the different views of educators is important and essential in growing and becoming a successful teacher. I'm so glad that I was able to learn about these different learning theories a little deeper, and I'm glad that we can consider them and use them in different contexts across the country. My view of behaviorism has even changed, and I can now understand how beneficial it can be in certain classrooms. I find it interesting that the legislation was not the driving force behind our mass education. As I was reading these articles, I was thinking that I never even realized how the education system was changed after certain historical events. I believe the funding of education will continue to be a main factor in the transformation of our schools. I think it's interesting that understanding why these things happened when they did is harder to understand than describing the different changes that have occurred in our system. I look forward to what the future of our schools and our school system will look like. So, my plan of action. I will integrate the main themes and other ideas from this course into my teaching career as soon as school begins, maybe even now. My roster has a list of 20 diverse learners, all with their own needs. They each come with a different background in which I will need to accommodate and make modifications to my teaching. During my lesson planning, I will integrate all of the learning theories into the many activities of the school year. Since learning about constructionism and constructivism, I will have a better grasp on incorporating hands-on activities. I plan on sharing what I've learned about these learning theories with my colleagues and explain how we can help our students more effectively. I will also share the insight and knowledge that I've gained from learning about ESL students, students with special needs, LGBTQ students, and of course our 21st century students, which is all of them. I plan on starting an after-school club that will educate our 21st century students in using the computer for more than an intervention program. My plan of action is to ensure student success, and that means that we need to, as educators, discuss these things out and in the open and ensure that our students are gaining success. With all of these things, we will create our 21st century learners and shape the rest of our country. Transformation may not be easy, but it will continue as our society has changed. Thank you so much for listening. Here is a list of references and resources that I used to create this PowerPoint. I also used only pictures that were taken by myself and/or from Creative Commons. Thank you so much.